Shalom, shalom, sisters. Shalom, YouTube. This is Sister Zion, and welcome again to The Rock. Okay, I'm just here to make a short video. I had some sisters of mine ask me some questions. We were all reading Dr. Gina's Murray, The Them and Him book, and we've been having some discussions. And one of the things that we were talking about that is also in Dr. Gina Murray's book, she talks about unity in a marriage and the unity, that you gotta guard unity in your marriage. And this is not just, any old marriage in any format, whether it be, monogamy or whether there be co-wives in the situation that, there has to be unity, and the unity has to be guarded tightly, because if there's no unity amongst husbands and wives and amongst sisters and co-wives one to another, then there is no way you are going to be able to fulfill what Yah has already put before you, as a wife, to help your husband accomplish the vision that Yah has already given him. And we were having some really good discussions, not only as my family and my codes reading this book, but also other families are reading it, and their codes are reading the book, because, she gives a lot of wisdom in that book. And, there's a lot you can learn from the book. And so one of the discussions we had was on unity. And it brought me to a question that a sister was asking me, well, two sisters were asking me about, when you have a co-wife and how to work together and bring the unity, because, within marriage in and of itself, we talk about this all the time: submission and submitting to the head of house, your husband, and how to reverence him. And those are the things that we are all who all are walking this walk is learning. And we're constantly learning these things from a wife to a husband. But they don't talk about the unity between from sister to sister in that sort of marriage. And so the sisters was asking me about this, about the unity in her situation, because she was adjusting and wanted to make sure that she has unity. And she's asked, well, how do you do it? And I told her I would talk about it a little bit because maybe this can help somebody else. And, I think of this: when a woman becomes a wife to a man, I treat the women the same way I would like to be treated as a wife. I acknowledge them as a wife. I do not try to do diminish, and it is important to me to have a relationship with the sister. And I do many things so we can have unity. When I welcome, or a sister is welcome into the home, I'm not the sister that goes and like, well, I was here first, and so that means I make the rules, or hey, this is my kitchen. Everything I do, I try to make sure I involve, and sometimes I may go a little overboard in involving my sisters in the same thing. And I pay attention to what my sisters are good at, because if they're better at something than myself, I usually turn over the task. And I have done that. And I have testimony to prove I've done that. If they're better at cooking than I am, listen, all right, well, then you take over the cooking area. Not that I don't cook. I will cook. I will still cook. But I would let them kind of teach me something in the cooking area, because maybe they know better than I do. I'm a fully aware that I don't have it all. I'm fully aware that I don't know how to do everything. You know what I mean? And so that's the point of sometimes when you have, women coming together in that sort of household, you all can strengthen each other. And when you are strengthening each other, when y'all care about each other, it will bring unity. It will bring a connection. I do this now. I practice this right now, where I try to make sure I have unity. I don't go around, hey, I was here first and this is my kitchen and things got to be ran the way I think it is because, I was cooking in the kitchen first, or I have priority. No, 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 no. You're not going to have unity that way. And sometimes you have to humble yourself and know that sometimes somebody knows something that you don't know. And sometimes there's something another woman can teach you that you don't know. And you will miss it. You will miss it if you're too prideful to like recognize that somebody is better at something than you are. And and me and this sister, she's already married and whatever. And we were discussing this because she wanted to have that same attitude. She didn't want to come off aggressive. She didn't want to come off making the sister feel unwanted. And we were also discussing, the challenges sometimes that, that a first wife may have And then even the second wife, and I was explaining to her that, you know, as first wives, there are challenges that come up that we also have. You know, when you're already a first wife, there's challenges you have, there's things that you go through. But I told her also, we can't forget that there's also challenges that when another woman comes in, she also has. You know, she's coming from a different angle and different perspective, but she also has challenges too. And we got to be mindful of things like that. So, no, I'm not babying the sister. Like, you know, I understand she's an adult woman. But at the same time, you know, we have to watch the way if we're going to have unity with one another, we can't come off like, you know, hey, I'm the wife. I'm the one that was here, and I'm the one who's supposed to get first priority, and I'm the one who should be able to. You can't come off like that and expect to have unity and expect to work well with anybody. I mean, you can't even do that when working together with anybody. So you definitely can't do that when you're going to work well with your co-wife, and you have that sort of attitude. There's not going to be unity. So unity have to be guarded. Between, you know, woman and man, husband and wife, as well as between the sisters. Unity has to be guarded. And you know, if y'all haven't gotten that book or haven't read that book, you should get it, because it gives you she goes deep, you know, into explaining these things. And it could really, really help your marriage. And, you know, we're actually having fun with the series. We're reading it together. It's not just my family, it's the other families that are reading it. One of my sisters had just called me and said she just finished reading the book. So, you know, it gives us things to talk about. You know, we're actually discussing it because, you know, we need that in this day and age. We need some instruction. Some of us don't have enough instruction on how to be a wife, and what we should be doing. And she goes really deep into the book. And I would say that, you know, for later, it's called The Them in Him. It's by Dr. Gina Murray. I think you all should read it. You sisters, you women, read that book. It will give you some insight. Read it with your husbands, talk over it, and so y'all can, you know, come together in unity, because it can bring you together. It will make you think about things in a whole nother light, in a whole different perspective. And my husband and I had already read this before, way back when we were in Arizona, and we're reading it again. And, you know, and you go back the second time, you're like, whoa, I missed this. So it is really an awesome read. And one of the things I told the sister that I will talk about is some things that I do. You know, okay, so my husband buys, you know, things for myself and for my but I don't consider things in the home mine. You know, that I consider it, first of all, if we're the husband's possession, everything belongs to the husband. You know what I mean? And then when he gives us something personally, or there's an area that we work in, like the kitchen, usually, you know, the women are in the kitchen there. We do the cooking, we do the cleaning. I don't consider these are my dishes, my silverware, my anything. These are ours, and we go in there and we work together. And when we get a task done, we discuss it together. We discuss what meals are going to be done together. I don't be like, I make the meal plan. No, we make the meal plan. You know, and let's discuss this. Let's discuss, you know, what will work best for us. You know, if I have a duty to take care of and I need a moment without the children, my will make sure that the children are taken care of so I can handle that. And I do the same likewise. Another thing is, you know, if we have things, if there's something we can share, like perfume, you know, for instance, if I have perfume, it ain't my perfume. Yes, he bought it for me. I'm not worried about that. That's just a stupid argument to be worried about if she used the perfume. I don't care if she used the perfume. She used the perfume whatever she wants to. It ain't my perfume, it's ours. That's how I see it. You know, I have been given things that my husband has given me, and he is not like, oh, you better share this. But I already know just that by that being my sister, just by that me needing to guard unity, just by, you know, us needing to be close, and you know, everything, you know, as much as possible is ours, you know, except for those personal things. Now, there are personal things that we just ain't gonna share. We ain't sharing underwear, you know, things like that. But if we got some perfume, we could share perfume. It's okay that she used the bottle of perfume. I don't require her to ask me, can she use this perfume? You know, but this is the type of silly stuff that is, you know, taken away from the unity in the marriages, especially between the sisters. Is things like that. Well, she used my perfume, or I had some lotion and she put some my lotion on. She can use her own lotion. Like, that's just some silly stuff, you know, and things like that will always bring confusion. Things like that will always bring disunity in anything, you know, if that's what we're harping over. I mean, we got real life things going on. We got more important things to be concerned about than some lotion that your co-wife used, you know what I mean? Or some perfume that she sprayed on herself. You know, it's just, these are just minute arguments. It's things that just don't need to happen. So these are some ways you can guard unity. Stop being so selfish, and sharing, sharing these things and knowing if this is your sister, why can't she have that perfume? Is your husband not going to buy anymore? I mean, what's wrong with her using the lotion? In reality, she needs some lotion, and you're concerned that she got some lotion. Like these are arguments that shouldn't happen, and these are some stories, that I hear, and it's like, why are they arguing over this? Like that makes no sense. And what they're doing is they're disrupting everything that's going on in the household. As women, we're supposed to bring peace, and we're disrupting peace when we argue about things like that, or when we make things because we're selfish, and that's usually behind it. It's like there's selfishness, there's envy going on, there's jealousy going on, there's all these different emotions and things going on. And then so this is what we do, this is what we manifest. We're arguing about sharing lotion or perfume. Those are things that, ladies, you have to guard yourself against. That's what the enemy wants, all this conflict for no reason. So I hope this video helped. And there's other things that I do, like I don't like pretty much anything that I got, I don't complain about. If I got a computer, she can get on the computer. If I have a passcode, the passcode is gone or she knows it. So she could just get on it. And likewise, she does the same for me. So we don't have that sort of, conflict at all. It's like those are minute things, and all of us, the same rule applies for everybody. Just take care of what you got. That's only stipulation on anything. It ain't that it's my computer. It's that obviously we need this computer. We don't want to break it, so let's take care of the things that we have, you know. But that has to do with gratitude. That has to do with, naturally that's what we're supposed to be doing, taking care of what we have anyways. So that's not really a rule that, you're putting on somebody because you're like, this is mine. That's just in general. Take care of what you got. So I hope this video helps somebody, guard that unity in your marriage between your husband and yourself, as well as between you and your co. If you guard that unity, you will see progression in the marriage. And if you haven't read Dr. Gina Murray's book, please check it out. It's called The Them in Him by Dr. Gina Murray. You can look it up online. Another sister told me she was able to read parts and pieces online. I haven't done it that way, so I don't know what you have to put in there. We actually got the book. If you contact Dr. Gina Murray, she is on like Facebook and other things. I'm sure she can tell you how to get the book. But it is called The Them in Him. I hope this video helped you ladies out there. You have a blessed Shabbat that's coming soon, and shalom.